We'll call the meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Anson.
Here.
Trustee Doro. Here. Trustee Myers.
Here.
Trustee Walschlager.
Here.
Trustee Ledke. Here. Trustee Connor. President Vanderstel.
Here. At this time, if you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If anybody would like to speak at this time in public comments for items that are not on the agenda, obviously for items that are on the agenda, you can step towards the podium when that item comes up on the agenda. Seeing as we have no public speakers, we'll move to our first item, which is a consideration of a motion to approve village board minutes from the December 28th, 2020 meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the village board minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have is a motion to approve the payment for the vouchers in the amount of $398,027.06.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers for $398,027.06. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the vouchers.
I have a question.
Discussion, floor is yours.
I did ask Ryan already today, but he wasn't sure about Hawes.
Ryan there.
That used to, yeah, that one.
Okay.
They used to come in front of us because I remember I commented on it last year. Did that come in front of us that I'm not remembering?
I do not believe that they came in front of us.
Well, I know it's the only ones that we can get, so is that why we're not voting on it anymore?
Well, no, we're voting on it right now.
Well, I meant, no, it used to come in front of us where we would approve them as the animal, people that call for like dogs that are running loose or cats.
I think that would be best directed for, I believe Tim's on or Ryan is on why we don't have them coming to us.
Is Tori in there?
No,
He is not.
Okay.
I think Hawes is the only group left that we can call that to take care of stray animals and they house them for us.
okay. Okay, that answers that. That would take care of that. Okay, thank you.
I thought that's what it was. I'll check with Tori as
Yeah,
well to make sure.
Chief just walked in, so I'm gonna have him approach the podium. He is coming right off a call, I believe, so.
The town of Merton, I know, has a gentleman who has a, for lack of a better word, farm or something. And he's an independent contractor that in the town of Merton that they call, because I've had to call him several times to pick up dogs. But in the past, we would always vote up here separately on if we're gonna use Hawes or not, but are they our only option, was my question.
I don't believe they're our only option. I know they're the most popular option in the area. I don't know of any community that doesn't go with anyone else, but I'm sure there's gotta be someone else out there. I know the village of Hartland's traditionally gone with Hawes. And again, that's for any type of domestic animal removal. So if it's a dog at large, or if it's a police matter and an arrest is made and there's animals left at the house, so a lot of different situations where that can come in. But then they will take custody of the animal and make sure
Okay.
it's cared for.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
Anybody else for discussion on the vouchers? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
That motion is carried. The next item on the agenda is a consideration of action related to licenses and permits. This is consideration of a motion to approve operators' bartenders' licenses. This is for Chelsea Moretti, Teresa Buskey, and Delaney Velati.
I make a motion that we approve the 3 bartenders' licenses read.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the list of bartender operators' license for those 3 people. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item on our agenda is consideration of a motion to appoint new members for the bid board of directors. This is for Elise Miller with a term expiring December 31st, 2022. And Todd Eckhart with a term that expires December 31st, 2021. These have been sent to us, these requested names have been sent to us from the bid board.
I'll make a motion to approve the new bid board directors as read with terms as read.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those appointments to the bid board. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have is a consideration of a motion to change the time of the village board meetings from 6:30 PM to 7 PM. One thing I want to add on this item is that the board could direct staff, because this would be an ordinance change. It's in our ordinances, and while it is on the agenda saying it's just a motion to do it, this is an ordinance, so we would direct staff to draft that ordinance, make the changes is what it would be. They would amend the ordinance that currently stands, and then they would bring it to us for us to review and approve.
All right, I'll make a motion for the board to amend the village start time from 6:30 to 7 PM.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to have the board change the start time from 6:30 to 7 PM. I'm hoping the board would go along. Could we amend that to say, to have the board is directing staff to draft the ordinance and then bring it back to us? Is that permissible? Is that unanimous?
When would that start then?
We don't know yet. We're just directing staff to
Okay.
go and to create, to draft the ordinance. Because you would never want to vote on an ordinance, without
Right, I just wanna
seeing
make sure
it.
it didn't hit next meeting,
It won't have hit for next meeting.
Okay.
The earliest we'd be able to really get on that, it'll be coming up at the next meeting.
okay, thank you.
So the motion on the floor would be to direct staff to draft the ordinance and then bring it to the board at our next board meeting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
No.
That motion carries. Now we have announcements. Does anybody have announcements?
Good evening. In front of you, you'll see a map with there'll be an orange line and a blue line. This is the detailed map about what's going to be happening in Nixon Pond dredging, which will start January 18th, next Monday. The orange line indicates the walking paths that we are going to have to close down. The reason for that is that pond dredging will go down 10 feet, and that path is pretty close to the pond. And the only thing that's going to protect the people from basically slipping in is a snow fence. So I just want to close down the paths. I just want to make everybody aware of that. And there's a blue dot up by the splash pad and the tennis courts. That's where we're going to close down the road, just so we can have construction crews in there and not have the general public drive in there. That's just a little informational thing. We will put it on the Facebook page and the web page tomorrow, but I wanted to inform the board first.
When does this happen?
It starts January 18th, next Monday.
Thanks, Dave, this is really well laid out.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Any other announcements?
I have one.
Chief?
Hey, good evening. So it was a hectic day today. My first email came from DHS that stated that the vaccine starting on the 18th will be available to all 1B personnel, which is police, firefighter, non-EMS personnel, and none of my EMS personnel have been vaccinated yet. So, second email I got was from the Wisconsin immunization records. We are currently in the system as a vaccinator, so we are waiting to hear now when we will start receiving some vaccine. Talked to Chief Penning today from Lake Country Fire, and his department is in with Western Lakes. Western Lakes is expecting a shipment of 900 vaccines within the next week or so. So I also signed up 5 of my EMS personnel to go get vaccinated at Aurora Summit. So finally it's starting to work. So we should have more news in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll be vaccinating personnel.
Thank you, Chief. Does anybody else have any announcements?
Just had one quick update I sent to the board in my, my weekly update about a entry to auto incident we had where several vehicles were entered and actually a house was also entered, an unlocked open house. We were able to quickly identify this individual. He's responsible for entry to autos all throughout the county. So we were able to link him to multiple other municipalities that this was going on. We were able to quickly act with one of our neighboring jurisdictions, the village of Pewaukee, and this individual was taken into custody and is at the Waukesha County Jail. We're looking at forwarding about 15 different charges in total for felony identity theft, felony bail jumping, misdemeanor theft, and felony theft, as well as the attempted burglary, because he did go into a dwelling with what we believe intent to take property. We worked with the New Berlin Police Department, the Village of Pewaukee Police Department, the Waukesha Sheriff's Department, and also the North Prairie Police Department. So as you can see, he was a menace throughout the entire county and targeting all unlocked vehicles. So locked cars, no issues. There was no forced entry, but just another good reminder. Remove valuables from your car at night and then lock those doors. We tend not to have issues if those are locked. They're looking for those easy targets with unlocked vehicles. And then we also had an incident back in October of 2020 where 2 vehicles were entered. One vehicle, nothing was taken, but the other vehicle, several $1,000s of cash were taken. And through the diligence of the responding officer, we were able to lift some fingerprints, which ultimately now match back to this subject that we arrested here last week. So we were able to clear a lot of different issues in the area through this investigation. So it was really well done, a very cooperative effort, and at the end of the day, this person will seek some justice. So
Is that a new fingerprint equipment that we have that was allowed you to do that?
So no, that's more for when we book a subject in, instead of using the old ink fingerprints, we do it electronically. And what's nice about that is sometimes ink smudges, and then the state will send back and say, hey, it wasn't the best ink print. The computer will tell you, it'll scan it immediately and say, oh, re-roll it, that one's not good enough. And then we know we're getting good solid fingerprints immediately. We also use that device if we have elimination prints. So if we respond to a burglary and you're the homeowner, we would take your fingerprints because we would want to eliminate that it's not your print that we captured when we thought it was the suspect. So that's another nice thing, is the ink, again, is just an antiquated process. And a lot of times the state would send back and say, send us another ink card, we need a better print. And you make one mistake, you're redoing all 10 fingerprints with another 4 print. So it really can add a lot of time. It was a very inefficient, antiquated process. So that helps. And then the last valuable tool for that particular piece of equipment was it's got a fast ID scanner. So if we believe someone's not giving us the right identification, we can bring them in, basically just do a quick print, and it will give us a quick, if they're in the system, it'll give us a quick identification who that person is. So a lot of really helpful tools. Unfortunately, this one was lifting fingerprints like you see on the TV shows, and then we send that into the crime lab for analysis, and they compare that to the database, and then they were able to confirm with us it was a match.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks. Anybody have anything over there?
I just have a quick one.
Go ahead.
I'm sure some of you have seen, we're hiring for a position. I know many of you know Faith Kindler. She's been with the village over 30 years. She will be retiring Monday, February 8th. Just wanted to make you aware of that. And obviously you heard Mike Yershevsky will be retiring Friday, February 5th. So they're both been here 30-some years, and they'll be retiring pretty much together in the beginning of February.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
I had one here. It's from, this is for helping homeless veterans. It's a second annual sleep out for veterans. It's going to be held over at the parking lot of the Legion, Post 294 at 231 Goodwin Avenue in Hartland. They held this last year. It got bitterly cold, and they stuck it out the whole way through. It was actually kind of cool, but a lot of people came through. They raised over $20,000 and truckloads of needed items. I strongly encourage anybody that's hearing this and for everybody to pass the word along to the village. It is pretty cool that they do that, and this is all just to help homeless veterans, but also to raise awareness for that. There's a couple different websites you can go to, or if you do have any questions, you can call Terry Casper at 262-227-1712, or Commander Mark Pape at 262-490-6436. Obviously, you probably can ask anybody that's in, any of the people that are real involved with the Legion, or you can stop in there sometime and you can ask that way as well, or call into the village and we'll try to get you information. But that is on February 12th and 13th of 2021. Very good thing to support, so wanted to get that announcement out. Any other announcements? At this time, pursuant to Wisconsin Statute Section 19.85, 1G, may go into closed session following a duly adopted motion to confer with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation which it is likely to become involved, namely building code enforcement issues associated with a building in the village which has sustained fire damage. This would require a roll call vote if the motion and second is made.
I make the motion we go into closed session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into closed session for the item as read. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Anson.
Aye.
Trustee Duro.
Aye.
Trustee Myers.
Aye.
Trustee Walshiger.
Aye.
Trustee Ledke.
Aye.
Trustee Connor.
Aye.
President Vanderstel.
Yes. That motion passes to go into closed session. At this time, we'll leave a little bit of time for people to clear out. It is on the agenda, just for everybody's knowledge, that it does say that we will come back into open session, possibly for taking care of any business. If there is no business to take care of, we will come into the session,
Was it amended?
and then we will
I
reopen.
didn't get it amended. I mean, I knew.
Thank you. So we're back in open session now, coming out of executive closed session. And we have, wherever I said it, if we have any action, if any wants to make a motion based on any of the business that was just discussed in closed session, they are free to do so, or to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to direct our village attorney to reach out to the property owners of the Hartland Inn to just get an update of what the timeline is to repair the exterior of the building.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to direct the village attorney to reach out to the property owner of the Hartland Inn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Our village attorney.
Who made the second?
I did, trustee Anson.
Yep. Oh, he is writing it. Thank you, Tim. At this time, we already got through announcements, so the only thing we would do is either take a motion to.
I make the motion that we adjourn.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye. This meeting's adjourned. Tim Rhodey,